We are the Mystic Scales and Fae
And Fae
Tales
Tales podcast.
podcast.
We're back for another episode in the SJM world, Sarah J. Maas. We're going to be talking about Throne of Glass today. So, a big, big series. And we do have a special guest with us. We're so excited. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Trin. I'm part
Yay.
of the
Yay.
Fable SJM group, and it's pretty awesome. And I just want to say, if nobody's joined, they should definitely join.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Actually, all met on our Fable Book Club, which is the SJM for first timers. Back in what, August?
Yes.
Well,
Is
we put the
that,
group in August, I think. We started it.
which is kind of crazy. That's like more than 6 months or just about 6 months.
We
So
have
here we are.
400 people in our group as of this last week.
Wild. Yeah, because
So
we just started Crescent City, so we got a few new people, which is very exciting. I finished it. I don't know where you are in it,
I'm
but I
actually
finished
behind for once.
it.
I'm
I know that's
literally,
crazy.
I'm literally on I think chapter 16 now.
Wow.
Okay.
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 Not
I
But
know
you're
bad. Not
I'm
doing
bad.
way behind.
but you're doing the audio, right? The
Yeah.
graphic audio? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing a mix of both. So if I get too tired of hearing their voices, then I'll read for a bit.
That's that's very valid. Did you buy all of the books? Like, do you have physical books?
I don't have the physical ones of Crescent City. I have everything for ACOTAR and Throne of Glass except the last two books for Throne of
Hmm.
Glass.
Okay.
But I've been nervous to buy Crescent City because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna actually like it.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
valid. That is so valid.
I'm like nervous for the next two. I actually really liked the first one.
It's
First one's
okay
good.
so
So,
far. I'm
yeah.
enjoying it. There's just so much that it's throwing at me that I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like Jen, if you didn't put those things in the
yeah.
group, like I would be so lost. Like the Asteri and like all that stuff.
Well,
And
when I
I've
read it
gone,
the first time, I did the same. Like I had the paperback and I had the regular audiobook. And in the beginning of the paperback, it does break down the
oh,
houses, but it doesn't
okay.
break down the characters for you. So you're just like
Oh,
thrown in with all these like random people that you're like, oh, okay. So that's why I was
yeah,
And
like,
I'm
I had to
trying to
look on
keep straight.
Pinterest.
Ugh, like I can't
yeah,
keep straight who's who looks like who,
right.
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
relations, like
yeah.
what their
And
jobs are.
I'll be honest, like I did look up the family tree, so like I do know something.
You spoiled me. Stop doing
But
that.
But they were like talking so much about Rune and Bryce's like family line and like which side they're on. So I was like, this,
No, you
I need to like
spoiled.
see it. So it was a very Game of Thrones. Like I just need to have everything laid out for me.
I
Um,
do that a
Lee
lot.
is,
I did that all of Throne of Glass, to be honest with you.
oh my
okay,
God.
okay. That's
That's
fine.
a big
See?
spoiler for Throne of Glass. Well, Lee is such a spoiler person that we watched all the Oscar movies in the last month,
Oh, yeah.
and every time we sat down to watch a movie, she would like look up the ending, and I was like, Lee, we
Oh,
just started the
sorry.
movie.
I
I'm
love
so bad with that.
IMDb. I love trivia. So I would just
Yes.
go to that and they have sections like where spoilers are. So I don't read that until I
I'm
have
just
to.
like, why?
When I like am reading something or I'm watching something and there's something that makes me anxious and I'm like, I need to know the answer to it now, I look it up.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, I
Lee.
get
That's
yelled
Lee.
at.
Yeah, which it was okay because there was one movie where there was an animal, and she was like, I had to look up if the animal dies or not, and I was
Mhm.
like, that's okay, I
There's
get
a
it.
website for that. I don't remember
Yeah,
what it is,
I
but
think it's literally called Does the Dog Die?
I think
Like,
yes. Yes.
I learn something
so
new every day. So.
there you go.
Throne of Glass is Sarah J. Maas's first series that she ever
Yeah.
made. It is
Yep.
her young adult series that most people nowadays randomly read ACOTAR first, her adult series, because it's the more popular one, and then they get to her young adult series. I will stress again and again to all the viewers, it is a young adult series. Do not expect to come into, there is some smut, but do not expect to
Yeah.
come into this thinking there will be all the smut that is in ACOTAR. This series is way more than that. And I would say ACOTAR is more than just a smut as well. And but just to know that this is a young adult series, not an adult series. It is a 7 book series with a novella included in that lineup, or is it six with whatever? There's 7 books and then there's a.
I always say it's just 8 books.
We recommend reading the novella first because it gets you into the characters and to the little things that connect throughout. There is fairies, there's witches, there's humans, there's all these different magical creatures. We will be discussing heavy spoilers, so if you've not read the book, come back
So
later.
sorry.
Sorry about that. And now, yes, let's get into our special guest. Trin, what was your journey with the series? How'd you find it?
So I was a big reader as a kid and like all through my teenage years. And then when I got pregnant, I kind of stopped reading for a while. And because I mean, obviously, I'm focused on, an
Easy.
actual child I have to take care of. Crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and so I, over summer, was like, I really miss reading. And I am also a writer, but I didn't have, like, I guess, the juices yet to be able to do that. So I was like, well, maybe if I can read, I can get back into writing. And so I was on TikTok and I was like, well, I always see everybody talk about ACOTAR. And so I was like, I'll try it. And so I read that and I read that in less than a week.
All of
Uh,
them?
As most do.
yep. I read the first book in less than 24 hours.
Damn.
Um, and so I think it's probably about 5 days is how long it took me to read the entire ACOTAR series. And I thought that it was amazing. I loved it. And then I read Throne of Glass. And I still like ACOTAR, but in my opinion, it's like looking at a children's play compared to like a Broadway
Mm,
musical.
okay. I love
Mm,
that.
okay.
So, like, I love ACOTAR. It's very easy to digest, and it's just something you can just, it's like trashy TV. You can
Yeah.
just put it
Mhm,
on and you can
mhm,
relax, you
Yeah.
know?
mhm,
Whereas Throne of Glass, I literally fell into the world. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so immersive. There's so much to it. I
Mhm.
yeah.
don't even like, it's hard to formulate how much there is to it because you meet so many different characters, so many different people. Like, there's places
Mhm,
it explores and actually thoroughly shows you compared to ACOTAR, where like you're kind of just, in one or two courts.
Right.
yep.
Like, and she'll just kind of like say like,
Gloss
"Oh,
over
Valaris
it.
is so pretty," and but like I feel like the same like with like Terrasen. I'm like, I want to know about Terrasen. Like, I want to go there, like the forest and everything.
She does
Yes.
describe all the worlds very differently. And it's
Yeah.
a really, I think it's appalling. And I say this to you guys all the time that like you have to remind yourself that she wrote Throne of Glass first and then wrote ACOTAR. And it was like,
Yes.
what was the decision that was it a publisher decision? Was it a
Hmm.
her to like kind of I don't want to say dumb it down, but like dumb it
Right?
down in a way. And it was
Right. Like, did
weird.
she need a break? Like,
Exactly. And it's just crazy because like I especially always think about because so we read Assassin's Blade first, and
Hmm
I know some people say getting into that first is hard, which yeah, like the first chapter, I was kind of like, but then I really got into it, especially during the desert. Because
hmm
yeah.
the desert, I
Yeah.
feel like the world just
Yeah.
it came to life and you felt like you were there and just how she described everything. It was so cool. And
Yeah.
that's
And those
probably
are
my
good characters too.
yes. And like I love Ansel and it's just so cool. And I think that's my favorite part of the novella. Everything that happens during that arc, like her training and then like the big plot twist with Ansel.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
And it's funny
And
because when I discovered the series, I never read the novella. I read the novella for the first time with you guys. Like I
really?
read the
Crazy.
entire book. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't read the novella first, but what's funny is I bought the first two. So I have the first two books in print and I have the novella. So I bought them. But then I went to the audiobook to finish and then
Yeah.
I just like never went back to it and I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy the audiobook because I have the paperback. Like I'll just read the paperback. And then like I never did. And then when Lee and I started, we share an Audible account. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get the audiobook for us. Like we'll just listen to the audiobook. So then,
Yeah.
like that's the way I did it. And I was like, I can't believe which like it was I still got the like like the shock when you got to meet the characters, but it
Hmm.
wasn't the same as like being able
Yeah.
to have that first. And I was like, wow, I
Right.
should have done it this way.
I can't imagine going into Throne of Glass itself for the first time. I don't think I would have been able to get through the first book if I hadn't read Assassin's Blade first. Just because I feel like if you go into Throne of Glass without reading it, you're going in so unknowing and there's just like so many things that you're not a part of and that you never would have caught if you hadn't read
Hmm
Assassin's Blade. And
Yeah.
I know everybody says that the emotional impact order is reading it right before Queen of Shadows, but I disagree
Yeah, I don't think
so
so at
much
all.
because like yeah, sure. it's impactful to read that right before you meet all the characters in Queen of Shadows again. But if you read Assassin's Blade first, you're actually meeting Celaena first as she was. And
Mhm.
you actually meet Sam and you get to know
Yes.
him and you have
Yeah.
no idea what's gonna happen. And you're like, oh my God, this is her man. Like, you're
Hmm.
gonna like
Yes.
run the world together. And then
Yeah,
he fucking dies.
I
Yep.
know.
Literally.
And like it
Yep.
really does like form her character, you know?
Yes.
Like if you don't see that and then you just show up and it's her and like, oh, is it Dorian? Is it Kale? Like she just seems like more like vapid.
Like have that background of her with Sam and you see all the different little things she's taken from him, like her favorite quote.
Hmm.
Oh my God. That crushed me. Especially because I went the whole first time reading it not knowing that that was from Sam. And now this
Ugh.
time I knew. And I was like, wow, that's
I
insane.
feel like reading Assassin's Blade first just like is such an emotional impact through the whole series
Yeah.
rather than it just being impactful for the last few books. And it's just so interesting because I feel like it changes their perspective on her relationship with Kale
Mm.
because he is like her replacement Sam.
Which in the
Yeah.
timeline, they only dated for like a week. Isn't that
A week.
insane?
That is, yeah.
The timeline is my biggest issue. That is
A
my big
week?
problem.
It's yeah. It's kind of it's a disservice.
You
Yes,
know what it's
like
giving? It's
uh,
giving Game of Thrones when what's his name meets the like the healer and then like they fall in love.
yes,
Rob, it was Rob.
yep.
Oh
And
yeah.
like they fall in love so quick and then they're pregnant and
And then
married and then
the
they're dead.
timeline,
Yeah.
Like it's like
yes.
that. That's what exactly what this series is giving. It's like everything happens so quickly, which is like, yeah,
Yeah.
war, but at the same time, like, what?
Well,
Right.
and when you're reading it, you're not quite like realizing that this is taking place so fast.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you sit there and you like put it on a timeline, you're like, this
Oh,
happens less than a year. Like that's not right. This should be over the course of several years.
right.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
especially
agree.
because like if we're talking Fae, you know, these people have been around for a long time.
Exactly. And that's another issue I have with ACOTAR too, because I feel like that should have been drawn out more.
Oh
Hmm.
my God, Lee and I talk about that so much. What is it you always say? How can they hold a grudge for 500 years?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, I don't
Right?
understand they grudges for 500 years.
They really do though, but then they'll just be like, "Oh, but we were in this curse for 50 years."
I feel like nobody ever points out that like Dorian and Aelin definitely it's not as bad as Game of Thrones, but like
Yeah, they're related.
they're related.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
related.
read somewhere, but which could be false because I didn't look it up, that apparently like that was the first like that was where she was gonna go with the love story. And that's why it was just like
Yep.
randomly like veered away.
So
Oh.
I have the original PDFs. I haven't read them yet because it's kind of hard since it's, from so long ago and it was her first write. But
Mm.
I can't remember the actual name of it. It's like it's not Throne of Glass, it's something Queen of Glass? But it's she put it on Fiction Press
Okay.
and it's the original Throne of Glass.
Wow.
And the entire story was written where she was with Dorian instead.
Wow.
Mm.
And
Just the
it
whole
didn't,
time?
yeah, and so it didn't follow the rest of the plot line that's in Throne of Glass. She definitely changed it up when she actually published it. But like Rowan, he was just her mentor.
Oh,
They never
interesting.
got together. There's nothing there.
Okay, so maybe this
Wow.
is where my shirt can come in. So I recently found
Okay.
out that this was supposed to be like
Wait.
ACOTAR
Say
was.
what your shirt is
Oh,
for
my
the
shirt is
listeners.
Cinderella. I'm so sorry. It's Cinderella. So I was recently told that ACOTAR is Beauty and the Beast. We know this.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Throne of Glass was supposed to be Cinderella, but like if Cinderella was an assassin. And it's funny because like it was Danny who was telling me and Brennan this, and me and Brennan, who was another one of our coworkers, was like, I don't think so. We were both like, no. But like now that I'm thinking about it, and now like if you pitch it that way, and she ended up with the prince, like that
It's
is a very
Cinderella.
interesting
Yeah.
twist.
That's
But also
Cinderella.
like good for publishing to be like, no, no, like
Yes.
Well, I
let's
don't know if
change
I would have
this.
hated that though, because it's like then when you get to like the whole of them having to talk to the gods, which was so dumb.
Yeah.
That like and forging the lock or whatever, like you would have been like, oh, heartbroken, like, oh, they love each other, and like one of them has to
Well, yeah.
die, and then like they both don't
Who's it
die.
gonna
But
be?
That was so dumb.
I
They
was
were
so mad. I was like, this man has never ruled a kingdom. He has no following. Just let it be him. Like,
right.
he has the bloodline. Go ahead. Like, I was sad because I really did want Dorian to be someone like
mm,
important. I thought he had so much potential.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, there are good things that he does and like cool
Yeah.
things. Everyone loves his shadow hands.
oh my God,
Um,
Shadow Daddy.
But I just, yeah, there's a lot in Kingdom of Ash, like at the end that really
Mhm.
just, I was like, where are we going?
Well,
Like,
it was weird that it's like the longest book, but everything was so sped up. Like, and I said this to you guys before, like Dorian's power, he randomly like gets into his power like what the last book, and I'm like, you this couldn't happen like 3 books ago. Like,
And he's
I
just so
don't
strong
understand.
instantly.
right,
Yeah, and he figures out how to shift all of a sudden. I was just
by
like,
himself.
with like 5 lessons from Rowan, get
Right,
out of here. Like,
right.
get no, no.
I think there's a couple of things that piss me off about the lock scene. So everybody votes and is just like, yeah, fuck you, Aelin.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, literally.
like, dude, this woman just went across, pretty much the entire world trying to protect all of you,
Well, that's why they're all there.
Hmm.
sacrificed herself. She was being tortured for months on end. Like, all she wants to do is get home and protect her home. Like,
Right.
why
Hmm.
couldn't they have at least, just let her get home and then seal the log?
But then
But
at
then
the same time, like she wanted them to vote for her. Like she wanted
she
someone
won't.
else to make the decision. And I was like, girl,
Well, and then they made her do it in Dover, in Dovier, however you say that, where
oh,
she
with the
was
slave.
Hmm.
imprisoned.
Yeah,
Like,
Hmm.
that is a slap in the face.
the trauma.
Do you have as our resident theory girl, do you have any theories about like the falling through the world or like how did you take that scene of because remember again, that was written before she even wrote Crescent City, before she even wrote Agatar. So she
I
knew from the start that Feyre was pregnant as well.
I hate that. Um,
We all do.
I think that SJM eventually is going to do a crossover where it's all three of her main series.
Mm-hmm.
I really think she will, and I know some vague spoilers about Crescent City.
Oh God, I don't. How
I'm
is that
not
possible?
No!
I'm not going to say what it is. I accidentally stumbled upon them, but
Mm.
knowing those things, I think there's definitely potential for like the main three protagonists to cross over, but I think SJM will absolutely nerf Feyre and put Nesta in her place when she does it
Mm,
Agreed.
okay. I
because
mean,
she's kind of just cast Feyre to the side. She's like, "Oh, pregnant now. Get out of
right.
game."
And she said like she knows the names of their other children.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
so I
It
think Feyre's having babies. I think Nesta is eventually having babies.
Elaine could, just not with the winged man.
Right. They
right?
said, screw
Like
you. You can't be with Azriel.
which as after that bonus chapter, no thanks.
Ah,
Like, they should not be together after that.
spoiled it. Yeah,
Yeah. I did
spoiled
tell you
it.
guys one spoiler, which is not a spoiler, but when we were talking, because for the listeners, all three of us are doing the graphic audios for Crescent City,
Oh,
and the
yes.
actors that are in the ACOTAR one and Fourth Wing are also in this one, and it's very
It's
annoying because
it's too
yes,
much.
It's a
it
lot.
is too much. I hate it.
Listening to Isaiah talk, I'm like, okay, Dane, shut up.
That's
I
us
know
with
it took me a
Micah.
minute. I was like, why do I know this voice? And Jen was like, that's Dane. I was like, oh, okay.
I was telling Lee though that like okay, everyone knows that there is a crossover between Crescent City and ACOTAR. That isn't well known at this point, spoiler,
Yeah.
because the book's been out for over a year. And she was just like, we were talking about it, it's like, well, the guy who plays Lucian, who plays Xaden, plays Micah. And it's like,
Too
how
much.
is this possible? But I did spoil, and I was just like, well, just, like the crossover is with the main people, and
Yeah,
Lucian is not counted as a main person in SJM's mind,
because I
which
love
doesn't
her.
make any sense.
Yeah.
I know. It's so crummy, which
Well,
makes me like nervous for what's gonna happen to him.
and he's like better than most of the men in ACOTAR.
Yes.
Hmm.
He has so
When
much
we
potential.
reread well, I reread Lee read Alcatar, we wanted Feyre to be with Lucian.
Agreed. Agreed. I found an amazing fan fiction on Archive of Our Own where
I'm
Lucian and Feyre
obsessed.
are together. It was so good.
I love it.
One interview, I saw her talk about how they're asking her about like one of her next series, and she was saying that there's going to be characters we know in it. And
Mm,
Mm,
she was kind of talking about how it's like not going to be something we expect or something along those lines.
interesting.
And since she set that up in Kingdom of Ash, there's no way like that she's not going to just have something that loops all of them together. But I also feel like she could definitely, just toss a fourth series out there before she does that and make
Yeah.
another entire new world because there were several worlds that she focused on in that world falling scene. But I
mm,
definitely feel like Aelin will have to do something with it and
mm,
probably I know that with the crossover or whatever between Akatar and Cece, I don't know exactly how Bryce does all that,
mm.
but I feel like all the protagonists have some sort of ability to like walk between worlds. And so it's gonna have
Hmm.
something to do with that.
There's also a lot of fan art that the crossover will be between the children
I think
and
kind of interesting.
yeah, that Aelin's child and Nick's whatever
Yeah.
Yeah,
his will fall in love.
I've
Oh,
seen that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that'd be cool because it'd be interesting to see their kids and like see how powerful they are and like what they do. But at the same time, like I miss Throne of Glass characters and I just want to see them.
It's gonna be really interesting when you guys finish your Crescent when you guys as you read Crescent City because there is I feel like things that she could drop in there that make it a clear crossover to all three. And it was
Yeah.
weird that she only chose to cross over to Akatar. Like it
Mm,
made I guess it makes sense. Again, I don't like the story of Crescent City. Like it makes sense, but like it would have lended it more to Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
Um and they talk
funny
about this in the
because
first couple of chapters of Throne of Glass. I mean, Throne of Glass, Crescent City of the circles of hell and hell existing. And I'm like, this is so like people were like when I remember when I was reading it, we were like, is this like Throne of Glass? Like, is this the same concept of Throne of Glass? And it's not.
Well, and I've noticed just reading the first several chapters, there's several things that I can see where it like could correlate to either series. And I feel like definitely like the Astery or whatever, that just screams Amryn to me.
Oh, they get starry.
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What
Stary,
did
yeah.
I?
Just like
Yeah.
that literally screams Amryn to me. I don't know why. It just how she described them in her series and then how we see it in Crescent City. But then there's also just several things in like how they talk about the different like shifters, the different races that is totally thrown glass.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Mhm.
we have how do you say it? The cadet tray? How I don't even know how to say that.
Oh,
Kajari?
the
No, the
cadre, like
Cadre Cadre.
Rowan's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have all the shifters there, and so
Yeah.
it's just like a big city full of like Rowans, Fenrys, and you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about Vaughn? Where is that guy at?
Oh my God, I always forget about him. Ah, always forget. That was so unnecessary. So unnecessary of a character.
Oh my God.
I have a theory that that dude just was like, I don't want to hunt them down, so he just went up north and he's looking around, you know? He's just having a
Yeah,
good old time.
he's
Doing
definitely
his
doing
thing.
nothing.
Oh my God.
I do have a question for you guys. Okay, so a lot of people, so we did the tandem read. Did you do
Oh
the
yeah,
tandem
this
read?
is a good
I
question.
did not.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
wish the two were absorbed into one? Do you like the two different books? And for the viewers, it's the separation between, um,
Tower of
what are the two
Dawn
books? Tower of
and
Dawn,
An Empire
Empire of
Storm.
Storms.
Empire
And
Storms.
Tower of Dawn is first, right? That's the
Tower
No,
Dawn
canon.
is second.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Empire Storms is first. So when I read them, because I only did the audio for Assassin's Blade. I have all of them for Throne of Glass. I'd turn the audio on when I was like doing dishes or something, you know. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I just read the books because I read fast and I wanted to get through them. And so Empire Storms, I that's my favorite book.
mm,
I
I think so
Yeah,
absolutely
too.
loved it. And
that's a good one.
I don't think for me, I would have enjoyed it and appreciated it as much if I'd done the tandem read or if they were absorbed together, just because there's so much to it. There's so many point of views there that I feel like I would have lost a lot of little details and a lot of different interactions. And the same thing
Interesting.
for Tower of Dawn, because starting that book, I hated it. I I did not like it at first, but it's actually another one of my favorites because I think that
Wow.
Yeah.
is peak SJM world building
It
because
is, yeah,
it
it's
takes us,
beautiful.
yeah, it takes us to an entirely new continent, and I could actually very much visualize everything there. And
Mm,
Yeah.
she really expanded upon, the royal family there. She talked about the Torre and just everything. And there's like so much culture, and it's so interesting. And I don't think I would have appreciated Kale's healing arc as much as I do if I had read it separately, just because reading it by itself, you really have to sit there with him and you have to just kind of watch him as he stops being a douchebag
yeah.
and gets
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah.
And I really did like his and Irene's relationship in the build up, and I don't
Mm,
think I would have enjoyed that as much either if I had done the tandem read because it just gave me a lot of time to focus on those characters specifically and to kind of get into their heads
Mhm.
and see where they're at. And for me, sometimes it can be hard, like in Kingdom of Ash, when we were jumping back and forth from
oh,
perspective
that was a
to
lot.
perspective,
That was a
every
lot, yeah.
chapter,
Yeah.
I would like forget where we were with certain people, and then the timeline would get kind of wonky, and I'd be like, wait, what happened? Like, we're in the middle
Yeah.
of the work here, but we're doing something else here. And so
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think that just would have been too much for me.
Mm.
And I don't think I would have appreciated either books for what they are if I had done the tandem.
Interesting. Okay, so Lee, you did the tandem as your
I
first
did do
read.
the
What
tandem.
is your perspective now?
I think I really enjoyed the tandem. I think because it like helped propel me. I also think like it was kind of just fun. Like you had a
Yeah.
checklist and you were like, "Hey, like I did this chapter today."
Yep.
Um, and I think it would have been interesting to do it the other way, and like I think I would have struggled to sit with Kale for
Yeah.
so long. Um, but yeah, I think it like really kept me moving. Some of the things, like a lot of the lists online are a little nitpicky, I will say. Like you would do this, Jen. You'd be like, we don't have to go from chapter 30 in one book to 31 in the next book to like 32, like
Yeah.
through 35.
Yeah,
Like
was
I would
that
keep
hard
going.
doing on audio?
Not as bad as we thought.
well,
Well, that's
nah,
what like what you were saying we would do with like if the list was like chapter 10 to chapter 20, but in the middle they put chapter 12 of the other book. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, no, I'm gonna go through 10 through 20 and then I'll
Yeah.
go
right,
through the rest. So like there
right.
was points where you just went through one book and then went through the other because you're not
Yeah.
gonna skip back and forth for the two chapters.
Yeah, that
Right.
sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, but otherwise I think I was fine with it. I did it on my
Yeah.
Kindle, so I had the big screen, so I'm just like tap, tap to the next, tap to the next. So I don't know how it was for you, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a lot of it was just like the fun challenge of it. And like you're reading
Yeah.
two books at once. So like when you get to like the Fable, like I finished it, like you're finishing
You
two
can
books.
do.
So
Totally.
that was cool. Um I but yeah, I like it's funny because like when I'm reading Crescent City now, it's reminding me a lot of Tower of Dawn
Mm,
because of the mystery
Yeah.
aspect, and they're like trying to figure things out. And then I think also like the Asteri is similar to like the royal family.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely thought in Tower of Dawn she could have cut out some siblings. Like we didn't need to have all of
Yeah,
them.
I agree.
Uh,
it was
but
hard to follow who was who.
Right. And then like all of a sudden in Kingdom of Ash, I was interested in Caution and I was like, what's his deal? Like this man was rejected by Irene.
She
I
kept
want to
asking me about
know.
caution so many times, and I'm like, Lee, he's not important. Like it doesn't
He's really
matter.
not. But I was like, this guy, there's something.
He's
So
not.
that's my little takeaway. And then Empire of Storms, I think what I like the most about that one is Lysandra and like Now
Yes.
it's the freaking sea dragon. Like,
So
okay, girl,
cool.
like, tell me more.
I did not expect that when it happened.
I was at work listening to that. We had like a cleaning day. And I like remember exactly where I was. And I had to stop what I was doing. I was like on a ladder. I stopped. I like rewound the audio. I was like, what did I just hear?
It's so interesting because I did both. So the first time I read the series, I read
Yeah.
them in order, one book at a
Yeah.
time. And then this time around with the reread, I did the tandem. And I agree with both. I echo both of what you guys said. I do feel the tandem was so much fun. I love checking off boxes, but there was so much within Tower of Dawn. But I think this goes for me and all of SJM's writing. Like I could probably pick apart all her books and be like, you could cut
Oh
down
yeah.
15 chapters. Like
Oh
you do
yeah.
not need all this, especially
Yeah.
when Crescent City. I'm like, you could cut it down, cut it down, cut it
Oh.
down. And that was what was a little hard for me with Tower of Dawn. Like I kept wanting to just listen to Empire Storm, especially in a reread. I'm like, I don't even want to revisit Tower of Dawn. And it's
Mm.
funny, I talked to my other coworkers, and what they one of them does rereads a series every year. I'm like, girl, that's a lot. But she does it every single year. And she said she does love Tower of Dawn. Like she likes revisiting it. And it's so interesting because like there's it's such a fine line for fans. I feel like there's fans who
It
hate
is.
it and fans who love it. And I can appreciate what they discover. And I think what was fun with the tandem is that, which you don't get this when you read it book to book, was that when Kale had to like come up with an answer of where
Yes.
she is
Oh
in the
yeah.
tandem,
And
the
that
way
was
that they
happening
line
at
it
the same
up.
time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like she was there, and then he says that, and you're like, ah, shit, she's really there. Like, oh no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's like that was fun. So I do think it would have been interesting if she did combine the two, and maybe even if she did like a novella, another one of like more of
Yeah.
the world.
Mhm.
Um, but it just, yeah, for me, it felt like I just felt like the plot of Tower of Dawn could have been like the central plot was a little hard for me,
Yeah.
where it was lending so much to the rest of the series.
I agree that the plot to it definitely was not impactful for the rest of the series. It was definitely just more, you know, Kale's growth and fully bringing Irene into the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
it could have been a novella. It could have.
it's crazy though, because like then Irene becomes the ultimate, like
Yeah.
like what? The
And
very
while
end.
pregnant?
Yeah.
And like, why would you stop taking your birth control as like, the heir apparent when you're in a war?
I was like, I wonder if like the healers like don't need to take birth control. Like, can they just like do it themselves, like birth control themselves because they're healing?
That's
Well,
that's
she
smart.
screwed up, so
Or was it it's a tonic, I think, in the series. A
I
tonic
think it
they
is a
take.
tonic.
it's
Yeah.
always a
They stopped
tonic,
taking the
yeah.
tonic because
I'm
Kale wasn't
curious.
taking the tonic.
Who are your guys' favorite characters?
Oh gosh. I think Manon. I think my favorite
No.
character will always be Manon. Like I just think and I think that's I love when people like rope her with Nesta because Nesta is my favorite character of
Yes.
ACOTAR series. Um And then I would say with Crescent City, my favorite character is Bryce. So it's like really fun that they all kind of like are in the same vein of character
Okay.
development.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's truly because it's like the characters that she actually does that like go through trauma and like don't handle it well, and then be like, okay, how do we handle it actually? And like it's
Hmm.
more real. You relate to it more,
Yeah.
and I I love her growth. I love her growth of being of not knowing if to be evil, bad, good side, bad side, and then discovering that. Lee, you go ahead. Who's your favorite character?
Okay. I think my favorite is Lorcan,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
I forgot.
again, we just love the big dumb guy. Um, no, I like tragedy. I like he's a pretty awful person when we first meet him. And actually when I first met him, I was like, what is this dude doing? Like he was just appearing out of nowhere. And he was like tracking her or whatever. And I was like, this is a stupid plot line. And then he really grew on me. Um, and I just love his growth with like a lead, and you just kind of see like that he's to take it back to the Hunger Games, a piece in Maeve's game, she was just using him and he kind of had to learn what his own um like desires were, his own wishes, like what was he gonna do with his life? And I think like Alid and Aelin really helped with that. And I
Yeah.
just like seeing his journey. And I love all the little memes about him helping her with her period.
I
Yeah.
loved when you told me that Lorcan was your favorite because obviously I knew it was gonna happen, and I was like, you're gonna love him so much because he's choosing to die with her. Like when she because she's human, so eventually she'll die, and then he's like, I'm gonna go with her, and I was like, Lee's just gonna eat that up.
So do you like Cassian then?
Yes,
She
Okay,
does.
that's what I thought.
100%. And
Yep.
then you were saying, was it Fenris that you
I
thought I
thought
was
you were
gonna?
gonna like
Yeah.
him.
Okay, so I do like Fenris. I kind of like if I was gonna write a fanfic, it would be Fenris and Aelin and their trauma bond.
I
Oh
agree.
my God.
And
That's like the most tragic part of the series you guys choose to write about.
I just think that would have been really interesting. And I was a little worried, like
I
when she
know.
rescued, because she wasn't talking to Rowan for a minute, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here.
And
Um,
like I feel like Fenris definitely is like low key in love with her, and that's just never addressed.
I
Really?
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
could
get that
see it.
vibe. That's crazy. You guys got that
Also,
vibe?
like, yeah, and like I thought he was gonna die, and it
He's
was
gonna die.
kind of gonna be like a very tragic, like I'm dying for you
Yeah,
kind of
like I'm
thing.
dying. I'm in love with you, but
Yeah,
obviously you like are in love with Rowan, so
Oh
right.
my God, did I miss this? Holy crap. I did not get that at all.
And
I did
honestly, like she probably could have done something like that with Asriel if she didn't write that stupid bonus
oh my
chapter.
God. True.
Like she could have
I
had him sacrifice for Elaine to be happy or something. But
I kind of like the bonus chapter now because I don't want him with Elaine. So I think
I
it's a little surprised
agree.
he's not gonna be with Elaine.
I'm like,
well,
I want my man Lucian to get what he's owed, okay?
we love him. He
Wait, Trin,
deserves everything.
who is your favorite character in Throne of
I
Glass?
can't decide. I have multiple people that I love. Like, I agree with Manon. I love Manon. It's still hard for me to say Manon because when I read it, I always said Manon in my head.
Which half the fandom does.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I also do love Lysandra. I just really enjoyed, her character arc with how her and Aelin just, were fucking at each other's throats. They just did not like each other.
Hmm.
And they were just like bratty teenage girls, like
Hmm.
one's in a brothel, the other's an assassin, and then everything in Queen of Shadows, and Lysandra becomes literally the most loyal person in the entire series to Aelin.
So crazy.
Like,
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody that is more loyal to her than Lysandra. Like even Rowan, like yeah,
Hmm.
he tattooed the map into her back, but Lysandra was gonna like dedicate her entire life to becoming Aelin.
To
Well,
be
because
her.
Lysandra will do whatever Aelin says, like and loyal to
Yep,
her and trusting her, where Rowan will to a fault because at the end
yep,
he's gonna choose what he thinks to save her. Just
yep,
like when he's like, you and Dorian could do it. Like anything
yep,
to save and
yep,
Yeah.
Lysandra wouldn't. If Aelin says no, then Aelin said no. If Aelin
yep.
Hmm.
says yes, Aelin says yes.
I also really wish that we could get like a favorite character relationships. My favorite is one that doesn't exist.
Do
Okay.
tell.
So I think that there is amazing potential for the best bond between Lorcan and Aelin.
I could see that.
Okay.
I think that they would be like these sassy, like best friends that like, talk shit to each other. But I think they'd also be like, if somebody else disrespects the other person, like they're gonna beat them up,
Yeah,
you
just
know?
always have their back. I agree.
But I also think
Yeah.
they'd be able to have like with all the Maeve stuff, besides Fenris, because Lorcan actually had that like kind of real loyalty to Maeve.
Hmm.
I think they would be able to relate on a deeper level than she could with anybody else. Because like Fenris, he watched everything that happened to her, but he always hated Maeve. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
so Aelin has like all these weird, like trauma things because of everything that Maeve like made her see. So
Hmm.
she
Hmm.
definitely has like a lot there that nobody can really understand. And so I think they just, there's a lot there, a lot of potential for them to be like best friends.
I
Hmm.
think also like in the beginning, like as Celaena, she has such an attachment to her lifestyle that like Arobin
Yes.
like gave her, and
Yep.
that's kind of a similar like blinding
Yep.
that
Like
Lorcan
with
has
Lincoln.
with Maeve.
Yes, they're
Mm.
Yeah.
very similar. Like they have very similar paths. And because I mean, Selena, she didn't really care about anybody.
No.
She kind of just killed people, did what Arabin said, and that's how Lorcan was too,
Mhm.
until they met the people that kind of made them break out of that.
Mhm.
And
And that
so
could
they're
be why they also butt heads so much because they're the two
exactly,
that understand each other the most.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think my all-time favorite scene in the series just absolutely is when Lorcan saves her.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. I
It's
think that was on
just
Yeah.
purpose too. I love that that was on
Yeah.
purpose. That it was
That
like
is
she
pretty
chose
deep.
Lorcan to save him.
yes. And
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. Like I told you guys, I had my whole analysis of it because seeing the beach scene and, Larkin's the one that brought Maeve there and how it was misconstrued that when he was crawling on the beach that he was crawling after Maeve because Maeve left him. Maeve severed the bond. But the fact that he was actually crawling after Aelin, I think is insane and like shows that Lorcan had truly grown a lot and that he clearly knew what kind of queen Aelin was, and that that was a queen that he would rather serve than
Right.
someone like Maeve, and that he knew that she was important to a lead, the woman that he fell in love with. And so, like, there's so many reasons for Lorcan to have crawled after her. And then when he sees her and he flares his magic up, like, to me, I sobbed because
Mhm.
like it's just such a full circle moment that he's the reason she got captured, but he's also the reason she got saved.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she was tortured with Maeve to believe that so many of these people like were coming to save her and they never did, but she never used Lorcan. And
Right.
so when she saw Lorcan, she knew. She
Oh
knew
my
that was
God, that's such a great
Yeah.
point. Yes.
Yeah.
like, oh, it's just so good.
It
And I
is.
also,
And like it just shows like she has so much potential and like she could do
Yes.
it. Like she has the writing like chops that are there.
Yes. And she just sometimes just doesn't use them.
No,
yep.
chooses
And I
not
think it's
to.
also like beautiful the fact that like he fell in love with Elaine, who was the
Yeah.
woman's like the daughter of the woman who
Yeah.
also saved
Saved.
Aelin.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, I really hope that maybe if we ever get like a novella or anything after Throne of Glass, that, that witch blood in Elide comes in handy and she's
Yeah.
able to settle.
Yeah.
Because thinking of Elide and Lorcan just dying as humans, that's not right.
No.
It's
It's
not, but I
like
also would eat that up. I'd be like, oh, that's so
it's
perfect. Like their characters,
yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Oh,
it's
and
like you don't know Lord of the Rings, but it's very like Aragorn, and what is her name?
I can't tell you. I've never read it.
Oh my God. The
neither can I.
elf. Oh
Yeah,
my
I've never
God.
seen the movies. I've never done any of
I'm
it.
blanking. It's not Eowyn.
Wow, you're such a Lord of the Rings fan. It's
I'm so
crazy.
sorry. It's Liv Tyler. That's the actress. Anyways, because she's an elf. She lives
Yeah.
forever. He's a man. They fall in love. Anyways, same vibes.
Well, and
Honestly.
like I feel like with Elide having that witch blood, they focused on it so much. Like
That's true.
there's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like she could definitely like, I don't know, what if she goes to the Witch Kingdom to visit Manon and like that awakens that inner witch in her, you know?
Maybe. There is fan art I did share though of which is so sad of a lead being an old lady and
Oh,
Manon with her because Manon doesn't is aging
Or
slower now.
or
And
the
I was just
fan
like,
art of Manon with Dorian and Dorian being an old man.
yes, that broke me. Broke me.
So
ugh,
I like the
sad.
fan art where they have kids. I'm like, oh, I hope they have
those
Yes.
kids.
are cute. Yeah.
But yeah,
But
their kid's gonna outlive him too.
yes.
So true.
So
Oh,
sad. The only ones I'm okay with, like passing on as humans are Kale and Irene. Because,
yeah.
nah.
They did their thing. It's fine.
Yeah, they
They
did
saved
their
the
thing.
war.
They served their purpose.
Okay, so I know there's a lot of criticism with ACOTAR with that this is a war and no one dies. Or like one person died and it's her father.
Yeah.
In this series, there is more death.
Yeah.
But how did you guys feel about that? Did you feel like there needed to be more? Did you feel like the death was weird? Did you like the people dying? Like what
With
was the vibe?
multiple feelings about it.
Yeah.
So the 13 absolutely made me so sad, but for
Oh,
Manon.
yeah.
Like the 13, that was horrible. That was sad. But at the same time, I wasn't deeply connected to each individual. I
Mm,
definitely was connected to Astrid, but
Hmm.
the others just there wasn't that development with them. But
yeah.
the entire scene, I think that was really good just because it showed that deeply human side of Manon. That she's
Hmm.
not just this like untouchable witch queen, that she does have that love and care, and that her 13 dying completely gutted her.
Yep.
But then there's everything in Gabriel,
Ugh.
and that made me mad.
Yeah, that's
Same.
literally the first one that I thought
Unnecessary.
of.
It was so unnecessary, and it didn't have the emotional impact there because
No.
maybe if, Gabriel had met up with Adian like way earlier on in Kingdom of Ash and they sorted their shit out and they were like fighting side by side and they were actually bonding like a father and son. But
Mhm.
Hmm.
this was their first interaction after being separated for so long and never having built that bond. And he
Yeah.
just dies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's almost like, wait, what just happened? Like,
Yes.
is he
Like
Literally.
dead? Like,
well, and then I didn't like how after he's dead, Aelin gave him the blood oath. That was
yeah,
weird. That was weird and unnecessary.
blood oath is like a sore topic for sure. I don't know. What do you feel about Adian? That was one of my questions.
Oh, Adian. Oh, Adian.
I think Adian is a brat.
I
Yeah,
do love him though. Like I do. Ugh, when him and Aelin reconnect after all those years,
that,
it's going
yes.
to do so much throughout his time of lying to the King of Aldrin, and like, but then I personally think I feel like he could have been better written.
Yes.
And I think that like the idea of him like going off on Lysandra and like calling her all these evil words, and I'm like,
So out of character.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was just
it did
like,
not fit from what
It
they're
would,
trying to make.
no, there was no point to that interaction at all, anyways. And him
right.
like
Yeah.
throwing her out in the snow naked, like,
Yeah.
what?
But
Yep.
even like his first like profession of love is not well written. Like
No,
he
not at
Oh,
does
when
all.
he's like,
dragon.
I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah, and
You'll be
she's
Yeah.
my wife.
like, You haven't even kissed her yet,
Well, yeah,
bro."
and she's
Like,
like, I'm actively bleeding out after fighting sea dragons. What do you do?
yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
rather him. It would have been better if he was like in the vein of Rowan and being like, I like pledge my life to you. Not like I'm gonna marry you, you're gonna be mine. But like
Yeah,
Right.
my loyalty is to you. I pledge my
yeah,
loyalty to you or
Hmm.
something. Like that would have been like
Yeah.
more impactful and more like,
yeah.
oh, stop. Instead of him being
Well,
like,
and
you will be mine.
it also the scene where Rowan appears, and he finds out that Rowan took the blood oath. That was a whole thing where I'm like, okay, the fact that you're so upset about this, that this is yours, like this is your birthright. Aelin is not your property, and she's
Hmm.
allowed to give the blood oath to whoever she deems worthy of it.
Right.
And she had to give it to Rowan. Like that was like
I
a whole thing.
will
Like,
argue that I think the reason he also was upset was because like that was because it was promised him by birth, like that was the only thing he felt he was worthy for. So if it's
well, and
taken
that's
away, he just
what he
feels
had
like,
left.
what's the point of
Yeah.
me? Like there's
And
no
I
point for
get
me.
that aspect. I just hate how he acted about it.
Right,
Yeah.
because then he's
Yeah.
not worthy of it. Like he's
Yes.
proving that.
Hmm.
Yes.
It's like, I need more from you.
Yeah.
Um, but to go back to like your question, Jen, like he didn't deserve to have his father killed like
No. No,
that
that
at
was
all.
terrible.
Nope. Not at all. I like the impact of the 13 dying. I think on the reread it helped that I was finding all the fan art because I could put like a face to the name.
Yes.
And
Mm,
then
Yep.
where the first time
sure.
I read it, I just like was like, okay, there's 13 people
Yeah,
dead. Good.
like the
Like
videos
whatever.
that you see, like with the music and like how they read it, like
Hmm.
that's what got me was reading that.
Yeah. And I think the impact, what I really liked what you said because it resonated with me because the impact of the witches dying, I think not only was to show Manon's humanity, but to show the world the humanity of the witches and
Yes.
how they aren't just these evil
Yep.
also half demon creatures, that
Yeah.
they can be here and they deserve to be here and they
Yep.
are good. So like that was a death that I was like, yes, SJM. I'm so here for this
And
death.
how she had them instead of, how we see the other witches when they do that, they go out in this big black, like, light,
Hmm.
but they became pure light. And so I think that was just kind of showing the impact of like there is good witches, there's bad witches, there's good and bad everything. And
Yeah.
so it's making people not see the witches as pure evil. But I also still think that it's possible that some of the witches didn't die and they world jumped during that.
I've
Oh,
heard that.
okay.
Yeah. I've heard that is a theory.
I did
Yeah.
not hear that theory. Holy crap. All right.
So there is a witch that shares the same name as a character in ACOTAR, the third book. When Feyre and Azriel, when they go infiltrate Hybern's camp, and there's that human girl that's on the pyre, her name is Briar. One of the 13's name is Briar, and they're
Nice.
actually described physically very similar.
Interesting.
And the timeline doesn't fully add up, but at the same time, you could say, timelines are weird and wonky and
Right. World
time and
jumping.
space. Yeah,
Yeah.
time, space, world jumping, weird. Who's to say if you're world jumping that you're necessarily going into the same time period you were in? You could
Mm.
be jumping further back. But I think it's very odd that SJM reused
The same
that
name.
in both series,
Yeah.
like the name and similar appearances, and she put
Mm.
so much like significance on this Briar human.
Mm-hmm.
No reason, and then
Right.
there's no payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, why would you give us that name?
Exactly. Like it's weird. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious if that'll be something that circles back later because SJM does do that a lot, as we saw with Throne of Glass and how several characters that Aelin met that you think are just one-off characters all come into the fold later on. So
Yeah.
who's
Yep.
knows? There's
Yeah.
other people that say that one of the witches could be the mercenary that Feyre meets in the beginning of the first ACOTAR book as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mercenary.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that gives her the, oh, yeah, 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 that gives,
Yes.
Mm.
that she buys the stuff from.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the evidence for that they say is just kind of how she talks and how she says something about, them needing like being in that position before and understanding
Mm.
when someone has given you help or whatever.
Mm. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
very
think
like
it's
Aelin-esque.
yes. And I don't think it's solid evidence, but it's just interesting how much emphasis SJM puts on small interactions like that. And
Mm.
there's, of course, like there's the theories where um, the three Archeron sisters could have witch blood, like from Throne of Glass. So who knows?
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I, I wonder if when they jump, if they remember who they are or not.
That's what I'm curious about too,
Yeah, that feels like a an Amryn type thing.
right?
Like
Mm-hmm.
what her history was. And there's someone, I think it's Vic, the Wraith in Crescent City,
Yes.
who has a
Yes, it is.
similar story. So like
Yes.
maybe there's
Getting
a
trapped in a
connection.
body.
Could
Yeah,
be.
I don't remember whether or not they touch on Aaron more in Crescent City 3. But the end of Crescent City 1 might lean more into your world jumping theory of things. So it'll be interesting.
Interesting.
Just overall, I want to know what everyone's rating of the series is out of 5.
Out of five. While it is my favorite series currently, I would give it a 4.
Okay.
Just because I'm taking off points for just some of the writing style and just some of, the inconsistencies and the things that don't pay off and that were unnecessary.
Mm.
Or, like the things that really irritate me, like how she just like only knows one type of sweet, like chocolate cake isn't the only thing that exists. Like
Oh my God.
expand upon that, please.
You have no idea
Um,
how mad I am about chocolate cake appearing in other fantasy series now.
it's
Uh,
just there's more to it. Like that's such a little thing. And then just, how she constantly pays attention to like the watery bowels thing. That's
Mm.
there's similar things like that in Throne of Glass to like,
Yeah.
Pharaoh's Eye, and that's in Throne of Glass too. And I'm like, that's not necessary.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I agree.
no.
And she just like I think one of the ones is the one you pointed out, Jen, the Phantom Wind.
Mm.
Phantom Wind, her
Honestly,
turtles,
I think I've
it's
seen that.
three. It's
The
three.
Phantom Wind, I think I saw the most in Crescent City. Like,
Yeah,
Really?
she does say it.
yeah, I was picking it out so much. I was like, oh my God. She doesn't just say wind though. It's like phantom. There's like three different things that she'll describe as being
Phantom
like,
Winds.
okay, we gotta go somewhere else. But yeah, phantom wind, the toes
Phantom
curling.
Wind, turtles
Toes curling.
curling,
No.
and
Mhm.
smile like an adder.
Oh yeah.
Constant. She says something like an adder, smile like an adder, did it
Yeah.
like an
Which
adder,
we
which
only
makes no
know an
sense.
adder from Akatar,
Akatar.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
But she'll put it in all three books. And you pointed out that she curls her toes in her fucking heels. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah,
There's no
right.
way. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's like, and
I
like,
was like,
who wouldn't
okay.
see that? Like, wouldn't Hunt like look at her feet and be like, "Yo, what is wrong? Are you okay?"
Well, listen, he
Yeah,
wants to
right?
do things with her toes,
Oh
so
yeah, that.
I think
She
she
didn't
has
get
a
there
foot
yet.
thing.
Oh,
He has a foot fetish for
Yeah,
sure, and
I
a
think
pregnancy
so.
fetish.
Yeah.
also, I feel like so everybody says like how Agatar is just all smut, but when you look at it, there's like four smut scenes.
It's
Yeah, there's
not
Unless
all
you,
so much.
smut.
unless you count Silver Flames, then yeah,
Yeah.
then there's a lot of smut there. But like the main series, there's hardly any. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
then there's like Jen said, Throne of Glass is YA. There's a couple like scenes, but they're not even like real smut scenes.
No.
No.
I feel
No,
like
And
both
like
nothing
are
important.
mostly fantasy, just not smut like everybody says. And I feel like that's like a big reason why people are like, "Ugh, I'm not gonna read SJM, it's just all smut." But it really isn't.
It's
It's
no,
not.
not. But
it's
it also
not.
is what gets the people that don't necessarily like Lee and I talked about this in our Akatar episode that like we have a lot of criticism of SJM as a writer and as a person as an author. But like her series does get people that don't
Yeah.
often read to just start reading. And
Yep.
Mhm.
sometimes that the appeal of that is because there is some smut, and sometimes
Yep.
the appeal of it is because it isn't easy to digest fantasy. So it's like, yeah, it's not that much smut, and there's definitely books that are more, but like this is what the catalyst for that gets people into reading
Yep.
fantasy. So it's like,
I
whatever, I
gotta
guess.
say, I know she wrote Throne of Glass first, but I don't regret reading it after. Because I
Mm,
think if I had read Throne of Glass first, I don't think I would have been as into ACOTAR. Just
I agree.
because I would have really noticed the
Yeah.
deterioration of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, but I agree. Like I'm glad I did Akatar first. Because I like recommending Throne of Glass to be like,
Yes.
this one has story. Like this
Yeah.
one has like good character growth and like world building and it's a lot. Like there's a lot of books and the last one is a beast and I did need to take breaks. But
I didn't realize how big the book actually is until I saw it at the store because I was like, wow,
Oh
because
my God.
I'm sitting here reading on my Kindle. I'm
I
like,
have to
my
show
book
you
is this
something.
this big.
yeah, it's like almost 1,000 pages. I,
Insane.
I looked it up the other day and I was like, I can't believe we did that. Like, and you read them so fast. I was
I
like, how
don't
did
even
you do this?
I think it took
This
me
is
like a month.
That's Crescent
this is the
City.
third Crescent City.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Oh,
But
and
It is
the first book,
huge.
I didn't realize the first book has like almost 100 chapters.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
this book is
crazy.
835 pages,
Oh my God.
and it could
it's
have
a lot.
been like five, maybe four.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like they do nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
They do nothing.
which some of it is nice because it like builds relationships, but
Yeah.
some of it is going in circles.
Lee,
I
what
can't
is
stand
your
when that happens.
Yeah.
Lee?
What's
What
my
is your
rating?
rating? Yeah,
I think I would agree. I think I'll give it a 4.
Mm.
Um, I'm like teetering between like 3.5, 4. I think having sat with it for like a month, like has made it better. Like being able to talk about it has like made it better for me. Um, but yeah, I think for all the same reasons, like the story, the setting, I think just like diving deeper into the characters and like what they go through and how they all come together uh was really great. I do really dislike the end, like the Maeve Erewhon
I
like
agree.
climax is just not it. Like, and if you're just looking at it from that, like she didn't do a good job. Like it wasn't a good payoff. Um, but like I'm glad that I took the journey and I'm like I would recommend it to people. I think it's like a good fantasy like
Yeah.
YA.
I think
Yeah.
that on the topic of the ending, I think what she did in Kale's kingdom, her, big blast, that should have been for both Arwan and Maeve. Like
Yeah.
that, that was
Yeah.
dumb. That was dumb. And taking away like all her power.
Right? I was so confused why like Irene was the one at the end who did the big thing.
Yeah, it
Like this was not her story.
made no sense.
And I was also very confused because like at one point I was like, is Maeve even bad or was she gonna help you
Yeah.
get rid of Erewhon? And y'all are like miscommunicating, which is another of her favorite tropes.
Like
So
I
yeah,
don't like her because of the torture, but at the same time, it seemed like Maeve just kind of wanted to sit on her island and live in peace and ignore everybody around her.
yeah.
Maeve
And
is one
like
of my favorite
she
characters for that. It was a villain I think that was well thought out in that way of like
Yeah.
you understand them as a villain. It's like
Yeah.
you hate
yeah,
them, but you don't.
The reason she was a villain was literally just because she wanted to have a better life for herself and
right.
surround herself with like pretty things.
Yeah, and like
And
she knew that these brothers were bad, so she got away from them.
yeah,
Literally.
So
Literally.
like I don't know.
I
That
agree with the sitting on it though, that like it gets better when you kind of sit on it because after you finish Kingdom of Ash, it's a lot to digest and it's kind of hard to like string your thoughts together or even comprehend what the hell you just read 8 books of because
right.
so much to it. And so definitely like the longer you go after reading it, the more you kind of are able to put your thoughts together and actually like, look down at the series and see what happened. And
Yeah.
you're able to appreciate it more.
And I'm not sure like so we essentially binged it, right? Like
Yeah.
what would it have been like reading it in real time, like
Oh
having
my
to
gosh.
wait. I don't know.
I might have almost like wanted to like not finish it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like that's what I think. Like, and I think that's probably why I have waited so long to
Yeah.
read these. Like, I was so hesitant. So like, thank you to you guys for like carrying us along. Um, but yeah, I think it would have been a tough sell.
Yeah.
Yep. I would rate it after my second reading. I think when I first read it, I was like 5 out of 5, but I was just like, I had to also sit with it. And I think now with my second read, it's really hard for me. I go back and forth. I want to give it like a 4, but then I'm like 3.7. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
because I just have so many issues with her writing,
Yep.
and we talked about this a lot in our ACOTAR episode, especially her representation and
Yep.
her
Yeah.
terrible representation of people of color and her terrible representation of LGBTQ plus characters. And it's just like
Horrible.
it gets me when I have to reread it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so frustrating.
Am I the only one who thought that she was setting up for Manon and Aline to be
Yeah.
together?
No, I saw
Yes,
that too. Yeah.
I've seen fan art of it. It's amazing because I also thought that as well.
Like
Yeah.
it just made sense. Like I love Lorcan. Absolutely love the man.
Yeah,
But
same.
if Lorcan was not a part of this series or like was not, didn't have his arc with her, that was like the only logical thing, especially with how much Manon cared about her and like the
And
length she went to.
right. And I think like even like Manon and Dorian, like they didn't need to be together.
I
Like
don't
if
think so
No.
either.
Dorian ended up alone, like that would have been growth because he was kind of a womanizer in the
Yep, exactly.
beginning.
He always had a woman.
So that one, yeah, I debate with too. So,
I think that Kale also was definitely in love with Dorian.
yes.
Like
Yes.
that was just
Yes.
like he was
He
like
was.
instantly in love
Yeah.
with him. I mean, he chose him over Aelin always, and he was
Hmm.
always literally just like telling her how much better Dorian is than her.
Yes.
Like when he says I love you, like it doesn't read as like brothers,
No,
you
it doesn't.
know? It reads as like I have to say this and like it's now or never, you know?
Mhm. Thank you all. This is a great way to dive into the series. I think we had a great discussion talking about all the characters, talking about the theories and everything. Like, thank you so much, Trin, for being on here. We appreciate
Yes.
you so much.
I have fun.
Um, Yay. And if you want to get to know all of us, join our book club on Fable. We have three book clubs currently. We have an SJM for first timers. We have a Fourth Wing one for first timers, and then we just started a Hunger Games one.
Good.
The
And we're all
SJM,
active in all of them.
yes,
So
the SJM for first timers. Once we finish Crescent City, as you heard us talk about, we will eventually turn it over into just like all fantasy, and hopefully aligning that book club with these episodes as well. And then stay tuned for more reviews on Crescent City coming soon from us, some
very
other
excited.
mini episodes, and Hunger Games, Hunger Games, Hunger Games, and Hunger Games.
Yeah, so sorry. March is all about Hunger Games.
March, April, May, June, July, every month of the year.
So if
So
this
please
episode is after, we apologize.
thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Fae Tales Podcast. We are also on TikTok now as well. And we hope that you enjoyed this episode and happy reading.
Happy reading.